one of the most jarring sentences in the book, which comes in the intro, is there's clear proof that Pope John Paul II and Pope Benedict joined in a wide-ranging conspiracy to shield child molesters from justice. To you, what are some of the most damning pieces of evidence that you've come across that implicate Paul and Benedict in the child abuse cover-up?
Well, I didn't want this book to be overwhelmed by the child abuse scandals, but it obviously became something I had to research intensively. Um, I'll tell you that in years of research, I discovered there is just a mountain of evidence of cases in which both John Paul II and Cardinal Ratzinger, the future Pope Benedict, were made aware of terrible child abuse cases around the world, some of them involving cardinals and bishops. And the written record shows that over and over and over again, those two men, John Paul II and Benedict, chose to ignore that evidence. And that put literally thousands of children at risk of being abused in the future.
Are there any cases that stand out in your mind that are particularly malevolent compared to the other ones? Like anything that you came across that stood out as particularly evil?
Well, I mean, there were several, horrifying cases. I think one that a lot of your viewers and listeners will know about involves Cardinal Theodore McCarrick of Washington, D.C. Um, we have documentary evidence showing that John Paul II was alerted in 1999 that then Archbishop McCarrick was a serial sexual predator. Um, Amazingly, Cardinal John O'Connor of New York in 1999, on his deathbed, he just had brain surgery. He knew he was about to die. One of his last acts on earth was to write Pope John Paul II and say, listen, whatever you do, do not promote Archbishop McCarrick to any higher post in the Vatican because he's well known to be a sexual predator. And O'Connor, in this letter, describes several cases in which O'Connor is known to have preyed on young men. John Paul II, despite this warning from an American cardinal, just chooses to overlook it and names McCarrick as the Cardinal of Washington, D.C. McCarrick would go on for many years to continue to prey sexually on boys and young men. This was well known within the American hierarchy. I say it was well known to John Paul II that there was a problem. It was known to Benedict XVI, his successor, that it was a problem. And yet McCarrick was allowed to go on for years and years and years abusing young men.
Hey guys, if you like this clip, there's a lot more waiting for you. Join the Zach Show 2.0 to unlock the full video and audio version of this episode, plus bonus content you won't find anywhere else. Exclusive AMAs, the entire back catalog of premium episodes, and the ability to submit topics and questions for future shows. Subscribe today at thezachshow.supercast.com. I'll see you there.